Hey, Inspired Tribe, how's it going? Welcome to the Inspired Livestream here on the Inspired channel. My name is Jean Nolan. This is my wonderful wife, Kristin Nolan, the wise voice behind the camera. She's also always in the live chat, running her thumbs, and welcoming you all, answering questions, and sharing all the good stuff. And Inspired Tribe, I want you to repeat after me on this Monday, September 13th, 2021, WON. Repeat after me. We're healthy, we're wealthy, we're whole, we're free. That's the mantra of the Inspired Livestream. I believe we're at number 207 or something. 207 live streams, Inspired Tribe. Thank you for that so much. And we remain not just healthy, wealthy, and whole, but we also remain unapologetically free, Inspired Tribe. I want to thank you for all your orders, shirts and hoodies with this design have been going out all over the world. People are showing off their freedom. We love it. Please send pictures. If you ordered one of those and you're wearing it, send a picture wherever you're showing your freedom. We absolutely love it. And thank you for the support, and thank you for being who you are. Tribe, we're diving into a beautiful topic today, and it's all about, you know what? I'm going to share a story with you first. Before we go into anything, let me share a story with you guys. And first, before I share the story, let me welcome you all. I see Raphael is here today. Purple Soul. Hey, Gary. Cosmicality. Hey, Frank. Alan. Gio Neo. Nicola. The Graham. Carol. Steve. Sunshine Education. Matthias is here. Mark. Agnieszka. Classic Design. Oh, my God. She still got that name on here. Sarah's here. Cecilia's here. Thank you all for tuning in, guys. Always wonderful to see you. Who else is here? Teresa, Lorna, Mick. Let us know where you're tuning in from all over the place. Thanks for being here. I want to share a quick story with you guys. I used to be, and you know, it's interesting because just the other day, we posted a song of mine, a video, Keep America Great. And a lot of people were like, I didn't know you were singing. I didn't know you did that too. That's actually what I really do. I'm actually an artist and songwriter. But before that, I used to be a professional skier, alpine skier. I know a lot of people in the warmer countries and warmer states don't really know what that is. But it's basically, if you've seen alpine skiing, what I did was race down the hill as fast as possible. Downhill, super G, those are the fast disciplines where you go 70, 80 miles an hour. Long jumps, steep hills, all that stuff. And I used to do that growing up in my early adulthood years, and absolutely loved the sport. And I remember in my teen years kind of, switching over from the junior races to the big leagues, if you will, or part of the big leagues. And I remember this summer season, we would train on a glacier. And my coach would talk to me and say, I think it's time we're going to, would always travel to Canada for the beginning of the season. And he said, I think it's time that we're going to the bigger races. The North American Cup, this NORAM Cup is what it's called. And he said, you have to get ready for that. This is a different league, And, whenever you are an athlete and when you're racing or when you're competing, that's always kind of what you want to do. You kind of want to, go up to the bigger competitions. And he kept saying, you got to get ready for it. And I was like, yeah, that's what we always do, right? I mean, we train in summer and spring and we get ready, physical and skiing and everything. And then you go to the competitions and you're ready. And he kept saying, this is a different game. You got to get ready for it. And so when I did my best, I guess, but when we arrived in Canada, Lake Louise, that's it's not the toughest downhill in the world, but it's a long downhill. It has, long jumps, and what it mainly is, it's not really snow, it's ice that you ski on. At that level of competition, they inject the slopes with water and let it freeze, so it makes it more icy. Not necessarily to make it more difficult, but to make it more fair for all the competitors. At any rate, every downhill race, usually they happen on the weekends, Fridays, Saturdays, And then you have 2 to 3 trial runs in the days leading up to the big event. And I remember it was a beautiful sunny day. It was cold as it can be in British Columbia. Well, Alberta is on the border. And a sunny, beautiful day, blue skies. And it was my first trial run down that hill. And I thought, I'd inspected the hill. I was in good shape. I thought I was ready. Now, the second I started and came out of the starting gate, and you go into a tuck position in skiing, there was an energetic shift, something that I hadn't experienced before. It was like, oh my God, this is different. This is different. It's faster, it's steeper, it's harder. Everything was different. So I went down a hill, came into the difficult parts. It was pure ice. I'd never experienced such tough conditions at such high speeds. Long jumps, there's an extremely steep part in that downhill. And I just remember thinking, okay, you got to survive this one. This run is survival. This is what it felt like, right? So I came into the finish, and it was extremely cold, but I stood there, in the finish area. I stood there for some 30 minutes, just in my thin racing suit. And it wasn't because I enjoyed the scenery so much. It wasn't because I wanted to watch the other competitors. It's because my legs were so sore I couldn't move. I literally could not walk. Literally, I just had to stand there and wait it out. And I realized in that moment that this was a different league. It required a different kind of mindset. It required a different kind of preparedness, and it required a different kind of heart and vibration to do it. It's just the nature of change. And it went way better the following days. And of course, the more I skied, those competitions that were harder, the better I got. But mainly, that first day, surviving that first run, made me realize there needed to be a preparedness on a different level than just physical. And the reason why I'm sharing this story is because that's kind of what we're facing. We're all facing our Lake Louise run or facing our steep, icy downhill. Now, let me add to that story. It was also one of the most rewarding things I've done, because by the time the race came around, I felt more comfortable, and I felt like, yes, this is where I needed to be. This is the next logical step. It was really wonderful, and it became my absolute favorite downhill of the season. I loved skiing there. I loved the whole experience, the vibration of it, but I had to grow into it. And so this is where we are collectively at in our human experience now. We're graduating from high school, if you will, and we're going to university. We're gonna go into a much more finely tuned environment. That's what we're shifting into. And the thing is, there is a transitioning period, right? And we've been talking about this, and it's a good time to readjust, reevaluate, realign, recalibrate, and really come down to a few essential things that are necessary for us to do. And it's a beautiful thing. Listen, we've been just last night in a beautiful conversation with UC. We've been reminded of how beautiful this journey can be and is most of the time. And it's important for us to keep that in mind, even when the outer circumstances don't always reflect that. So I want to run through a list or a number of things that we believe are not beneficial, not just beneficial, now, they're always beneficial, but especially now, we would like to encourage you to take up, if you haven't yet, these practices, because it's going to purify you, it's going to cleanse you, it's going to elevate your spirit, it's going to raise your vibration, it's going to put you in a much clearer and better state. And that's what is required. Listen, that was required of me for that run. I needed to be strong. I needed to be ready. I needed to be in the present moment. And this is a three-part deal, right? Our life is kind of always a three-part deal to me. It's having a long-term vision, having some short-term plans, but having present moment awareness. And all of those things are important, a long-term vision, a short-term plan, and a present moment awareness. It's beautiful when those things come together. And the most important thing, especially now, is vibrational preparation. This is a vibrational universe. We do not get in life what we want. You don't get what you want. I don't get what I want. No one gets what they want. Everyone gets what they are. You get what you are. This is, I don't want to make it seem like this is a direct translation. And in terms of, okay, I'm in this state and this is automatically always unfolding right in front of me. But generally speaking, from a universal law standpoint, from all the mechanisms that we understand and that we experience, your life becomes like that, what you are, what you truly put out in your honest vibration, not your words, not just what you consciously think, but the whole vibrational thing that you put out that manifests in your reality. It has to be that way. This is, I mean, if you are a physicist and you just, barely grasp the concept of energy, you know this is true. You know that what you put out eventually manifests in your reality. So this vibrational preparation is beyond, important and comes before all the other things. And there's some beautiful things on how to do that. Something everyone can do. I encourage you all to do this every day, every morning, during the day if you can, and at night, but at least 1 to 2 times a day. Conscious breath work. Why is it important? First of all, breath work. Breath is the bridge that we build in a meditation from us, from our being to the divine being. Breath is the bridge that gets us there, right? And most people don't really connect breathing and meditation too much unless you're deeper in the meditation journey. But breath work, even if you haven't meditated yet, even if that's not really, you believe your thing, that's totally cool, still do breath work for a number of reasons. I'm going to start with the physical here. We are exposed to a sea of electromagnetic frequencies, of electromagnetic pollution, frequencies that have, especially with the introduction of new generations of technology like 5G, it basically puts out a new range of frequency. And when you're in the vicinity, then in that area where this electromagnetic field is present, it's physically harder for you to absorb oxygen from the air. This has been studied way before the technology was even introduced. It's just the frequencies that have this effect. You could turn these frequencies up even more, and you would see that in that area, you would have extreme respiratory problems in people because they cannot absorb oxygen. That's been studied. I mean, I've read this in official studies way before the technology was out. This used to be a military grade weapon, and those were the things that they studied. So we are now, and it's part of the reason why we see people having problems with oxygen and breathing, is the frequencies that we're exposed to that our body's not used to, and we cannot absorb the same amount of oxygen anymore. So conscious breath work and being out in nature if you can, breathing consciously, and the easiest thing to do is go here on this platform, YouTube, and look for Wim Hof. I mean, he's the master of breath work, shows you what is possible, totally transmuting the physiological boundaries of what people thought was possible in terms of going into the autonomous nervous system and influencing heartbeat, influencing immune responses, influencing all those things with conscious breath work. Wim Hof, there's a super easy practice, beginner practice here if you haven't done it yet. Do it every morning, do it every night, do it in between. Sometimes when you feel tired during the day, having trouble maybe focusing, do some fire breath. What that is really rapid for like 40 seconds or so, right? You're going to get dizzy, lightheaded, but you're going to fill up your body with oxygen, and it's basically like a Red Bull mixed with a triple shot of espresso in high altitude. Okay, that's the effect that you get from that. Super energized. So what I would suggest is, if you do conscious breath work, and I now assume you will do it if you haven't yet, that you give yourself, after those 10 minutes, 12 minutes that it takes in the morning to do this breath work with Wim, where he guides you, give yourself another 3 to 4 minutes to just hang out with closed eyes. And while the body is still feeding on that beautiful oxygen, you're going to be in a lightheaded, beautiful state. Just be. That's a gateway into meditative state. And if you do the breath work, you're going to be in a meditative state anyways. That's the beginning of doing that. And meditation doesn't just have amazing benefits for the body and the soul itself. It's your connection to the Creator, really. That's what deep prayer is. It's the same thing as meditation. People confuse it or are triggered by a word. It's really the same thing. Prayer and meditation are truly the same thing, and a beautiful way to connect with the Creator. Part of those practices that we would encourage you to do, and this is super important, this is the easiest way to do this. The Ho'oponopono is a traditional Hawaiian prayer, if you will, and it's a more expansive technique, actually. But over time, practitioners and beautiful teachers of this practice, Ho'oponopono, have basically made it possible to break it down to a very, very simple prayer. And I'm going to tell you why this prayer is so important before I'm going to introduce you to the prayer. Ho'oponopono is a healing tool. And if you allow it, it is basically a healing tool for everything. But first and foremost, it is soul healing. It is a forgiveness and healing prayer. Part of this journey that we're in, part of this going through the motions on this earth ship right now, and it's going to get more tumultuous, it's going to get more chaotic for a while. But we can be super centered in that if we take the right steps, the right action right now. And the forgiveness journey is the most liberating thing that you can do. And the Ho'oponopono prayer is probably the simplest thing that you can do. I'm not saying it will solve everything overnight. I'm not saying it will work for everyone to the same extent, but it is very beautiful. And the Ho'oponopono prayer basically is saying, you basically close your eyes, and if there's some sort of guilt, some sort of anger, some sort of shame, some sort of trauma, anything that's coming up, maybe you're thinking about people from the past that done you wrong or you've done them wrong. It doesn't really matter what the constellation is. Everyone knows the feeling, something that keeps coming up. Again, it's really beautiful to do after the breath work when you're already in that state. And basically, with your eyes closed and with your attention in this heart space right here in the solar plexus area, you say, I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. And I would encourage you to use it as a mantra, not as a one-time thing. You can basically chant, mantra your body into this energy by repeating this, but do it consciously. Put meaning into the words. It might be difficult at first. It might feel, insincere at first. It might seem like a lie at first. That is okay. You will overcome this. You will transmute this. But this is the simplest way. If right now circumstances, financials, whatever, don't allow you to see someone to do a deep healing journey, this you can do every day, and you can do it. And every time guilt, shame, trauma, sadness, frustration, fear, something from the past comes up, you go into this. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. It's just for you. Inside of you, just for you. And you can repeat this 10 minutes, for 10 minutes. Just keep going. Just keep going. Just keep going. Eventually, the feeling that was active before, the emotion that was there, will not be there anymore. It will either be neutralized, or better yet, you will move into a more a greater state of well-being. Even you will feel better. This is a really wonderful thing. Once again, the Ho'oponopono is a more expansive process in its original form, but this is the simplest, easiest version that you can do right now. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. Super, super wonderful, beautiful thing to do. No excuses here. You can do it. You have the tools now. Then we said breathwork, meditation. Number 3, also very, very important. Nature, exercise, food, water. Your body requires attention. It's serving you every day. It's every day, in every way. It's doing its best to serve you wishes. If you want to go and go hard, it gives you usually the possibility to go hard. If you feel like sleeping more, it does that with you. It's really a beautiful servant, right? But we need to treat our body with respect and with love. It's our temple. It's a beautiful temple that we've been given that has amazing capabilities beyond our understanding of the millions and billions of processes that happen all the time without you having to do anything. What a beautiful vehicle temple that we have. And so exercise, go out into nature, connect with that which is like you, a natural thing, a tree, grass, leaves, all the water. This is a really good time to become more. When outer circumstances become more chaotic, we tend to substitute things, or we tend to try to fill voids. This is a time to be in a more controlling position. Cut back on food in general. Most of us probably need half of what we really eat, right? And so it's a good time to become more conscious, to look at the foods that you eat. Are they providing you with something substantial? If you're constantly hungry, it means that you're either feeling an emotional void or your body is simply not getting any nutrients. And that's when it produces hunger, because it needs nutrients. So, with the industrial agriculture, we've lost most of the nutrients in the food that we get from the store. So there's wonderful supplements that you can use. I won't, I can't, or I won't tell you what all you need to use. You need to either, get some sort of counseling, or, a health practitioner that might help you with that, your own intuition. I can only tell you that we do take certain supplements and it really helps. What are you showing? Oh, yeah. Muscle test, kinesiology, something that you can look up. It's a beautiful way where you can test what serves you and what doesn't serve you by the second person. Super easy to do. Water. Clean water. Drink as much water rather than other things, soda or stuff like that. It's a good time to pay attention to that. You need the energy, and you need to be in a healthy and balanced state. Just very important. This is a very important thing for the mind. Number 4, limit interactions with ignorant and stupid people. There is a good amount of ignorant and stupid people out there. It's that simply there's no hope in communicating with them. All you do is you get drained of your energy, time, and there's nothing accomplished. On the flip side, there are so many people that are looking for and craving enriching, mutually beneficial conversations, interactions. You can help them, they can help you. It's a beautiful thing when that happens. But do not try to convince ignorant of time. There's a number of Dolores Cannon calls them backdrop people. Go and look that up. If you dive deeper into that, you will become very much more selective in who you interact with. And sometimes those stupid, dumb people, ignorant people are in your family. You can't help it. And sometimes that's just the way it is. But definitely cut back on that. We are basically not having those conversations whatsoever anymore. And it's just liberating and freeing and beautiful. Another thing that's really, really important right now, we've talked about this. That's why, I love to wear the shirt. I love to spread the message. And this is a time in human history where we all need to embody freedom, live freedom, speak freedom, show freedom, be free as much as we can, and also become our own personal, intimate boundaries are. What's the line in the sand? How far are you willing to go, or how far are you willing to let others go? This is a time that tests our principles, our true morals, our ethics. And it's not a trial run anymore. This is not a test. We're in the thing. We're in the thing, the big thing. And so think about that. That's one of the first things that Kristin and I did when all of this began early last year. I mean, we had a clear overall vision of what our lives were going to be and where we're headed and what we desire and what we're doing. But this specific situation that began to unfold required of us to sit down and draw some lines in the sand. What feels right? What doesn't feel right? What are we aligned with? Given all the information that is out there today, given all the knowledge that you probably gathered, the wisdom, draw a line in the sand for yourself. Nothing is more important than having principles and values, because if you don't have that, it's game over for humanity. That's what keeps the human family human, to have morals and values that are that you are not willing to sacrifice no matter what. And you can define that for yourself. I can't tell you what that is. I know what it is for me. It's clear, but this is something that everyone needs to do for themselves. But embody freedom, speak freedom, stop being afraid or letting others shame you into compliance with things you don't want to do, you feel are not right. Don't put your head down because you're afraid of judgment. It's a time to stand tall. It's a time to stand strong. And all of these vibrational, physical, spiritual, mental, physiological preparations allow you to be in a balanced state to embody that. It's what we need. We need full-on, 100% capable humans right now, right? With a loving heart, with a moral compass, healthy, wealthy, whole, free. And one thing that I remember observing over and over and over again, it was always our motto, always. There's two kinds of people. When a crisis, when chaos happens, when things on the outside seem to be a very bad or not as planned at all, there's those who begin to retrieve, to conserve, to basically make themselves as small as possible in the desire to kind of survive through that. And then there are those who, when crisis hits, they expand, right? And the motto here is the only way to overcome this is right through this and to grow through it. And in business, the people, and this is a beautiful example in business, the people that usually are most successful is they invest when their sales are down or when their business is down. They expand when they have problems and troubles in their finances. They expand. It's a counterintuitive move, but this is the only grow through this. And this is not a time to retrieve. You will sit the storm out. No, none of us are going to sit out. We're going to have to face it one way or another. But if we're strong and balanced, we are a beacon. We're a shining light. We're the buffalo. We'll talk about that in one of the upcoming live streams. But this is the motto here: expansion, people. You beautiful shining lights, beacons of hope and a new future and a new way of living together. You need to shine your light. You need to stand up and stand strong and show your full presence, grow into the full possibility and potential that you are, and those things will help you to do it. No retrieving, no backing down, no playing small, not giving up an inch, not an inch. We're expanding. We're going to keep promoting freedom in the face of whatever all those other tyrannical ideas are. I don't give a shit. We're going to keep promoting living that in all areas of our lives. And we're going to simply quit worrying. Just do it. Be who you are. Express that. Again, things. I'm going to go through them one more time. Vibrational preparation. First and foremost, step into the vibrational state. You don't get in life what you want. You get what you are. Meditation, breath work, ho'oponopono, exercise, nature, food. You see, there's a few things that are really, really essential and important beyond everything else. And then you'll have so much energy, and you bring that energy to whatever work, and you know, the creator's going to put the work that you're capable of in front of you. And so when you bring your best self to that, you're going to thrive. It's not about survival, it's about thriving. It's not about making it. It's about expanding it. It's about living up to our true human potential. That's how we all need to look at this. And it is that, right? It's our choice in that. So, a few things to ponder and think about, tribe. We wanted to let you know that Friday is the last day where you can register for the Yada retreat that's happening from September 30th till October 3rd. Down in Cape San Blas, Florida, a beautiful energy shift retreat. We're going to leave our everydays behind, our rituals, our practices, our whatever we do every day, and we're going to step into a new experience, create an energy shift, true energy, beautiful exercises on all areas. It's going to be amazing. We're almost full with the group of people. Maybe a couple spots left. So if you want to, if you feel inspired, join us. The link's up in the description. Friday's the last day. So 4 or 5 more days to register. Send us an email or go look it up on the website. Again, it's in Cape San Blas, Florida from September 30th to October 3rd. It's going to be a beautiful, 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 beautiful experience. We can't wait to see you all. And last but not least, Inspired Tribe, please hit the like button. We're going to be here again tomorrow, 2 p.m. Central, on this expansive journey. If you have questions, if you want us to talk about something in the live streams, let us know. Send us an email. Leave a comment. What is it that is moving you, that you feel more? We can talk about it. We love you, tribe. And we'll be here tomorrow, 2 p.m. Central, right here on the Inspired channel.